Welcome to Logic Bits. I am Vinod Kumar. In this video, we will discuss number data type in Python programming language. Python supports three types of numbers: integer number, float number, and complex numbers. By using the integer data type, we can represent the signed whole numbers, positive or negative, of any magnitude. We can represent any largest number or any smallest number by using this integer data type. Python and Java programming languages doesn't support unsigned numbers. The languages like C or C++ supports unsigned numbers. Look at the example. The first example is a positive whole number and the second example is a negative whole number. There is a visible difference between integer and floating point numbers. The integer number doesn't contain fractional part. The integer number contains only the whole part. The floating point number contains both the whole part as well as the fractional part. In floating point numbers, the whole part and fractional part are separated by a decimal point. The floating point number may be a positive number or a negative number. The level of accuracy is 15 digits after the decimal point. Look at the examples. The first two examples are positive values. The last example is a negative value. Floating point numbers can be represented by using scientific notations. By using scientific notations, we can represent a very large and a very small number in an efficient and compact manner. The alphabet uppercase E or lowercase e are used for this purpose. E stands for exponent or 10 to the power of. The exponent value may be a positive value or a negative value. Look at the example. In the first example, the exponent value is a positive value. In the second example, the exponent value is a negative value. Actually, this is the original number. 107,800.0 is the original number. We represent this number by using this scientific notation. Look at the second example. This is the original number. We are representing this number by using this scientific notation. The third one is complex numbers. The complex numbers contains two parts, real part and the imaginary part. The real part and imaginary part are separated by the plus symbol. The imaginary part contains the alphabet, lowercase alphabet J. In the example, 3 is a real part, 4J is an imaginary part. To separate the real part and the imaginary part, we are using the plus operator. 5 is the real part, 8J is an imaginary part. To separate the real part with the imaginary part, we are using the plus operator. Complex numbers are used in mathematical equations and scientific applications like electronics, electromagnetism, quantum theory, and Fourier transforms. Now we can move on to the example programs. In the first example program, we declare two variables x and y. The variable x contains a very large value, very large value, and the variable y contains a very small value. When we print these values by using the print statement, the values will be printed as it is. There will be no truncation. When we execute the program, the values will be displayed as it is. There will be no truncation. Truncation of values won't happen. In the next example, we declare one float variable. This is the float variable. It contains a value. After the decimal point, totally 16 digits are available. After the decimal point, totally 16 digits are available. But the level of accuracy is 15 digits. So when we print this value, the last digit 9 will be ignored because 9 is the 16th digit. So the last digit 9 will be ignored from the output. When we run the program, the last number 9 not displayed because the level of accuracy is only 15 digits. Look at the next example. Here in this program we are using two float variables, f1, f4 are float variables. The first variable contains the value 10.78E4. So what is the meaning of this number? 10.78 will be multiplied by 10,000. 10,000 is represented as E4. E stands for 10 to the power of. So 10 to the power of 4. 10 to the power of 4 is 10,000. We will multiply the value 10.78 by 10,000. So what will happen? The decimal point will be shifted towards the right hand side by 4 digits. The decimal point will be shifted towards the right hand side by 4 digits. Look at the second example. In the first example, exponent contains a positive value. If the exponent contains a positive value, then the decimal point will be moved towards the right hand side. If the exponent contains a negative value, then the decimal point will be moved towards the left hand side. There is a difference between the positive value and the negative value. In the first example, I am using the capital E. In the second example, I am using the lowercase e. We can use any case, uppercase e or lowercase e. In the second example, we are performing the division operation. If the exponent contains the positive value, then the multiplication operation will be performed. If the exponent contains the negative value, then the division operation will be performed. So the number 10.832 will be divided by the value 10,000 because we are using the negative value, negative exponent value. So 10.832 will be divided by 10,000. When we run the program, output will be displayed. So the decimal points will be shifted accordingly based on the positive value or negative value. In the next program, we are performing the conversion operation. Look at the first statement. We declare one integer variable. It contains an integer value. I want to convert this decimal value. I want to convert this decimal value, the whole value, into a binary value. To convert this value into a binary value, I have to use the function binary, BAN. It contains, the binary function contains a single argument. The argument is the variable A. Finally, the result will be stored in the variable B. We display the results. Integer value, it is 129. Its binary equivalent will be displayed in the output. Likewise, in the fourth statement, we declare one variable called C. It contains a binary number, still an integer value, but in the form of binary. We are representing the integer value in the form of binary number. To represent the binary number, we have to prefix the binary number with 0b. We have to prefix the binary value with 0b. When we print the value, this number will not be printed. The number will not be printed in the binary form. Instead, the number will be printed in the decimal form, that is the original integer form. Okay, the number will be printed as an integer number, decimal equivalent. So in this number's decimal equivalent, the corresponding decimal equivalent will be displayed in the output. Here we print the binary equivalent Here we print the decimal equivalent. Integer value 129, its binary equivalent is, this is the binary equivalent. The decimal equivalent of the given input is 68. In the next program, we are using the complex numbers. We declare two numbers, number 1 and number 2. Both variable contains complex numbers. Real part, imaginary part separated by the plus operator. When we perform the addition operation, the real parts will be added together. 6 and 4, it will be 10, and the imaginary parts will be added together. 10 plus 12j will be the output. So 10 plus 12j will be the output. We can move on to the next program. So in this program, we perform the subtraction operation. We will subtract two complex numbers. How we can subtract the complex numbers? The real part will be subtracted from each other. 8 minus 6, it is 2, and the imaginary part will be subtracted from each other. 4j minus 2j, it will become 2j. So then what will be the output? 2 plus 2j. Please remember, the output is 2 plus 2j. It is not 2 minus 2j. The output is 2 plus 2j. When we perform the subtraction operation, the resultant number also a complex number. 2 plus 2j is a complex number. 2 minus 2j is not a complex number. Please remember, this point is important. When we perform the subtraction in complex numbers, the resultant number also a complex number. So 2 plus 2j will be the final answer. That's all for now. For more videos, please subscribe to Logic Bit channel. We will meet in the next video.